You gotta love some hunting stories like that.
Oh, I know. They're the best. Let's crack a beer.
Oh, do it in front of the mic.
Yeah.
Oh,
nice
yeah,
audio.
the pop.
Oh, that smells pretty good. Oh, yeah.
I like that a lot.
I'll drink that.
I like that a lot.
Hazy Cosmic Jive. I picked this one because it's called Divots Brewery. And so I figured we're talking about golf. I'm like,
Come
Divots.
on.
I'm like, there we go.
I like that. Where is this brewery at?
I was trying to find that out. Oh, Nebraska, Norfolk.
Oh, wow.
Oh, cool. Didn't know that.
Divots Brewery.
Yeah.
I actually like this a lot.
Yeah, it is really good.
I'm not just saying that.
Usually the hazy, India Pale Ales are kind of one of my favorites.
Yeah.
But sometimes you get some and they're just like really funky.
Yeah.
Like we had when we were in Utah golfing.
Mm-hmm.
Me and my buddy both picked out an IPA, and this one was like, hazy IPA. I was like, oh, that should be good.
Yeah.
It was so bad. Like I couldn't even finish a can.
Oh,
I was like,
gosh.
I don't know. I think it was from Utah somewhere. I was like, these people don't know how to make beer.
No,
I was
they
like,
probably
"It's
don't.
So bad.
They're not known for their alcohol in Utah.
No, we talked about that on the podcast with David because to buy any beer or liquor or wine that's over 5%, you have to go to a liquor store. So if you want liquor, wine, or an IPA,
And they're not all that. You don't see a lot of them.
no, they don't have a huge selection, and then none of it's refrigerated either. Like they don't have any beer refrigerator like that. There's no refrigerators in there. It's all just warm. So like you got to go refrigerate it if you want.
Come on.
And then you got to go to a grocery store or a gas station to buy regular like domestic beer that's under 5%.
Weird.
Yeah, like
they
they
really
don't
make
just
you
sell it
jump
all.
through
Yeah.
the hoops.
Yeah.
Yeah. My wife Peyton, she got really into all the Mormon,
Oh, yeah.
the reality TV
Yeah.
shows. She's
Oh,
like,
yeah.
these people are crazy.
They're crazy. I know. My wife's gotten into a bunch of them before too. Yeah.
So when we were there not too long ago, she was like, I want to go to like these, they call them like soda shops or whatever,
Okay.
because they don't do caffeine either.
Right. That's right. Yeah.
So instead of coffee shops, they have like
Soda shop. So it's
soda
like a
shops.
soda fountain.
And
place.
apparently you can put like all sorts of different like flavors in it,
Yeah.
like vanilla or
Mix it up.
cranberry. Or we gotta start getting that Dairy Chef
There we go.
flavored soda.
Yeah. Flavored soda.
for all the Mormons.
Yeah. There's some around. I mean,
Yeah,
you never
man.
know, but not that many in Nebraska.
Yeah,
But-
that's good.
Yeah. Yeah. Oh, I guess so. Today we got Joseph Pietrocini on the podcast.
Yeah.
Here we go.
Come on.
Yeah. We're going to be, I don't know, we're going to be talking a lot of golf today. So
Yep.
if you aren't a big golf person, I'm sorry. But also, we're going to talk about a lot of interesting things about golf that honestly, now learning it,
Yeah.
most golfers don't know.
Yeah.
So, I mean, we're going to talk a lot about that. And it's all Joseph's fault. I blame you because now I need to spend a bunch of money to actually
Yeah.
get the setup I need.
It's a pay to win game.
It is, but it's like, it depends, like, how good do you want to be? That's the thing.
Exactly.
I'm too competitive.
Hey, that's the problem. You and me are the
Yeah,
same.
I hate losing.
As soon as we know that we don't have the best gear,
Yeah.
I'm like, well, what am I gonna do? Just go out there and intentionally lose?
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah, I mean, like, you look at my bag. If somebody were to look at my golf bag, they're like, that dude's a good golfer.
Yeah.
He has all the best equipment.
Yep.
And now after going to Club Champion yesterday, I'm like, my clubs are shit. Like, literally.
Yeah. It's
Yeah.
like they're not good salesmen. I'm just looking at the numbers.
Yeah.
Listen.
Well,
yeah.
That's what's so crazy. So yesterday I went to this place called Club Champion. I believe they're a national company, right?
Yes.
They're all over the country.
And if you want to sponsor the podcast,
Yeah,
we will
I know.
take that.
Yeah,
right?
we would take that in a heartbeat. I should have talked to him about it. I had Peyton was the guy that
Okay.
did mine. I don't know
Okay.
who you've had because you've done some stuff there before.
I've
haven't you?
done some stuff there. I've done a lot of stuff at Golf Tech as well.
Oh yeah, that's right. You do golf tech.
Yeah.
They're another good one too.
Yep,
I bet.
yep. So I took lessons there all through high school.
That's right.
And so I went and got a fitting
Yeah.
from the guy that gave me lessons, and
Nice.
and because I've been going for so long,
Yeah.
he didn't even charge me for the fitting.
Yeah.
He knew I was going to get a club, and
Yep.
and so he took care of me. But,
Nice. That's
yeah.
what you got to do though in the golf world. You got to
Yep.
try and find the guys that take care. I mean, that's
Yeah.
like James used to always take care of me at Indian Creek.
Yes.
Like he used to always give me crazy good deals on Titleist stuff.
Yeah.
And it was like, obviously I got the wrong shafts. But,
Yeah.
but
He was just
yeah.
trying to sell you something.
Yeah, no, I mean it's all good stuff. It's
Yeah.
not like it's bad, but
Yeah.
like that's what's so crazy about like I've done fittings before,
Mhm.
like with the Titleist guys,
Yep.
or like I've worked at Golf Galaxy,
Yeah.
and so like I used to do fittings for people too,
Yeah.
but I never knew like the technology that goes behind it and like the numbers and
Yeah.
like how you're really supposed to be fit.
Yeah.
Like I genuinely didn't know that, and I've been doing golf stuff my whole life
Yeah.
and been into gear and stuff. But
Yeah.
literally had no clue.
Yeah. Gear, and for everyone watching who's like relatively interested in golf, I believe that everyone, like no matter if you're a beginner
Yep.
or obviously the guys on tour,
Yeah.
like good gear can help you.
Oh yeah, definitely.
You know what I mean?
And like I would agree with that 100%. And I've always thought that I have good gear. That's the thing. And like I do have good gear.
Yeah.
And it has helped me.
Yeah.
But now, like going through one of these fittings, I'm like, I could be so much better at golf.
Yeah.
Like I'm already a good golfer.
Yeah, you're
but, like,
great.
I could be a great golfer.
Yeah.
Like it was just mind blowing.
Yeah. Yeah. What are some of the things that they told you? Because you did a full bag fitting.
So I did a
right?
full bag fitting because it was, on sale. Like,
Yeah.
Normally, so a club champion, normally it's like $400 for a full bag fitting,
Yep.
or just for a club, it's just $100.
Yeah.
So my original plan was I was going in for a new putter. I've been
Okay.
struggling with my putter for the last like 2 years, no confidence in it.
Yep.
I'm gonna get a putter.
Yeah.
We get in there. Since we're doing a full bag fitting, he's like, let's just start with irons. Okay, we'll start with irons
Yeah.
and see where you're at there. I'm like, okay. I mean, obviously, I know like I've got a good set of irons. I've
Yep.
got the Titleist CB MB combo.
Yep.
Love them. So start with the 6-iron. That's
Yep.
what they do. They always just do everything with a 6-iron. So I hit a few balls and hit them pretty good.
Yeah.
Couple like, okay, it's not like I'm in prime golf shape yet,
Yeah,
but
yeah,
like
yeah.
I played enough. I know when I hit one good. I know when I hit one bad.
It's early in the season.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So I do that, and then he's like, all right, so they got a baseline for everything. But the first thing he says when I hit the first like 2 balls, he's like, your ball is spinning way too much and you're hitting it way too high. And I was like, okay. Didn't know that.
Yeah.
I was like, all right. So he uses like numbers with like tour players. Like
Yeah.
with a 6-iron, it's like, he was saying like your spin rate with a 6-iron, you really want somewhere between like 4,500 and 5,500 RPM. Like that's where you want to be. Mine was spinning 6,300 to 6,500.
Dang.
And he's like, your height is well over what a 6-iron height should be.
Dang.
So I was like, all right. I mean, okay, how do we fix that? He's like, we're going to try some shafts.
Yep.
He's like, we should be able to fix that with a shaft.
Yeah.
And God, those dogs are going to piss me off. I should be able to hopefully cut that out. So he puts this other shaft in it.
Yep.
It was KBS C tapered.
Okay. Yeah.
So he tells me,
It's a good shaft.
he's like, because I have X100 shafts.
That's what I have.
A good standard shaft,
Yeah.
right? But extra stiff.
Yep.
And
That's
I've
exactly
played
what
that
I
forever.
play.
Yeah. Yeah. Have you ever done an iron fitting?
That's what I did to get these irons.
Yeah.
And I don't swing the club quite as fast as you, so it
That's
might
probably
be,
true.
Yeah.
Yeah. I mean, our swings are going to be a little different, so it
Yeah.
could be part of it. But,
Yeah.
So he puts this other shaft in it, and I'm trying to remember exactly what he said. With this one, it was the tip is stiff, like an extra stiff, and then it's like less stiff in the middle and less stiff in the top.
Don't clip this. People are gonna take this out of context when we're talking about. So in the shaft, in the tip when it's extra stiff.
Yeah, yeah. And if you get too much whiskey, then the shaft won't be as stiff.
It becomes a senior flex.
Senior flex. But so he puts this shaft on. I used he had the Titleist CB iron head that we used, so it was same as mine, just newer version. So I hit like 4 shots with that. Hit them great.
Yeah.
Like in a couple of them, like I felt like I had mishits.
Yep.
And it was they still ended up good. I was like, that's weird. Cause whenever I would have like a mishit or like a bad swing, I get a big rolling hook or a slice or something like that.
Yep.
None of these did that. If I missed, it still went straight.
Yeah.
It was just a little bit off my line.
Yeah.
So I'm like, okay. And those balls were going like 20 yards further than my shaft because
the spin
dropped so much. So spin dropped, it's not going as high, and now it's going 20 yards further, and like my grouping was tight, even on my mishits.
Yeah.
And that's what he's mentioned. He's like, think of like Jordan Spieth is what he said. He's like, you see him out there, and you see him hit a shot, and he gets absolutely pissed because he knows he hit it bad.
Yeah.
And then we watch on TV, and he's like still on the green.
Yeah.
And we're like, what is he mad about?
Yeah.
And he's like, that is the goal of getting you fit with the proper shafts.
Yep.
Is because then when you have a miss, it's not a bad miss.
Right.
You're like to you might think it's bad, but like you're still hitting the green.
Yeah.
So, so when I went through the whole iron fitting, I was just like, I never knew I could hit the ball like this.
Yeah.
Like I never knew that I could mishit that poorly.
Yeah.
And be perfect.
Yeah. And it's not like you're in a super forgiving head either.
Yeah.
It's just you change the shaft.
Yeah, literally.
Yeah.
So I tried that shaft. I tried 2 other ones. Hit those pretty decent too. Ended up going back to the C taper because every time I swung that one, it felt perfect.
Yeah.
Like my swing felt perfect. It was like just like with that certain stiffness and everything. Like, and it's not even an extra stiff shaft. It's just a stiff flex. Because they said that they're like, when you do a fitting, like they're like, we don't even talk regular stiff or extra stiff.
Yeah.
He's like, that's just a thing that the industry uses to try and sell you clubs.
Yeah,
He's
you think you're like a big shop,
Yeah.
you got extra stiff.
Yeah, and that's how I've always felt.
Yeah.
Like, yeah, I swing extra stiff. I'm a big dog. Like, but no, it had nothing to do with that. And that's something I learned. I was just like, I had no idea.
I've been told that a shaft is simply the timing mechanism.
Oh, okay.
You know what I mean? So like based on how my transition is at the top, I might actually be benefit more in like a softer shaft than a super, because I swing it fast. People are like, oh, you need extra stiff or double extra stiff.
That's what I always think.
Yep. Yeah. But it's simply a timing mechanism. And so there's I forget the name of it. There's a driver shaft. It's pink. Which it stands out like crazy. I forget the name. But their theory is no matter your swing speed, it's the right shaft for you. So my grandpa, who's a really good golfer, and I could use, in theory, the exact same shaft because it essentially, like, some sort of, like, Japanese manufacturing processing allows the, like, materials to react, you know, all this stuff. But it, like, reacts to your transition differently.
Interesting.
So, like, the kick point is always right or whatever, and it times up to your swing, in theory. I haven't seen it around in a while. I know no guys on tour are using it, but so it's probably not the greatest.
I mean, who knows? It's possible though.
Yeah.
But it's possible that like a lot of different people could use that shaft.
Yeah.
Still might not be the perfect shaft for like the pros.
Right.
But like it might be one of those shafts where like a guy that swings, 85 miles an hour could use it, or a guy that swings 110 miles per hour could use it. So, yeah. So
I've always heard it described as that. The shaft is simply the timing mechanism, because I was telling you a couple weeks ago, I got a driver fitting. Yeah. And I exact same shaft weight, exact same flex, everything was the same. Yeah. But it was a different manufacturer. And I just kept hitting it high in the face. And I was like, I know I'm putting good swings on it. Yeah. And I just keep hitting it high. The moment we switched, same head, same everything, same swing weight into this other shaft, and I was pure in it. Yeah. And it was just like a slightly different timing thing. Yeah. And so it was like, obviously where timing is everything in the golf swing. You see guys on tour, they all have slightly different swings, but their timing is just so good. Right. That's one thing I remember when I first went to a PGA Tour event. Yeah. And I saw like their transition at the top was just so buttery. Oh, and I remember going home and just like that's all I worked on for months was like my transition, just like how smooth and buttery can I make it. And I started striping it. Oh yeah. But yeah, same thing. Like with a good shaft, it can make more of a difference than any head. Yeah. That's what he said. That's what these guys were telling me. He's like, here's the deal. He's like, when you find the right shaft, like, it doesn't matter what club you use. Like, at that point, like, obviously, a club head does matter. Yeah. But he's like, what most of our clients do when they get these shafts and whatever irons, it's like a couple years down the road when they want new clubs, they take the shafts out of those irons and they just get new heads and put them right on the shaft. He's like, you don't replace the shaft unless you have some sort of swing change or, now you're getting older and you're swinging a completely different speed. He's like, then you might have to. But he's like, everybody that we fit for these, fit in the right shaft, they use these shafts forever. Yeah. So I mean, it's so interesting to just think about like how we always are thought like the club head is what matters, right? Because that's what looks different. Yeah. All these shafts look exactly the same, just slightly different paint, but it can make a huge, like for me, like, with my driver fitting, same thing. I was spinning it so much. Driver, like the perfect spin window is like around 2,500. I was spinning my driver 4,000. Oh, geez, yeah. So almost double what it should be. Yeah. And I was swinging it like 120 miles an hour. Yep. Ball was coming off 180. You see that on tour, you're like, dang, that guy hits it far, right? But it was spinning so much, it was going nowhere. That's what was happening to me too. And so as soon as we put a new shaft in and we de-lofted the club a little bit, I gained 40 yards off the tee. Exactly. And so I was like, okay. And actually, I was watching a video recently with Victor Hovland. Yeah. And he was hitting like an 8-iron. And they said, Victor, what's your stock 8-iron? Yeah. And he responded with spin rates. Really? And they're like, oh, I was expecting you to say like a carry distance. He's like, oh, all carry depends on his spin. Yeah. He's like, I could hit an 8-iron like 200 yards, or I could hit it 100 yards depending on how much I try to spin it. Jeez. And so he tries to like see the window launch wise and spin. And then in this video was about him trying different golf balls.
Yeah.
Which, have you tried the Pro V1X left dash?
I have. David got a box from last year, and I tried some of them. I haven't like done enough like analysis with it, but I mean they're supposed to go like quite a bit further, aren't they?
Well,
like,
for guys like you and me that hit it, like swing it hard, spin is always the issue.
Right.
And I put that ball on play, and now I can't use anything else.
Really?
Because it just like, instead of it ballooning, like, in that flight window.
That's what always happens to me. My ball just goes.
Yes. Yours does a ton.
Oh, yeah.
It just kind of like flattened it out a little bit.
Nice.
And so now I can actually hit knockdown shots.
Yeah, because I literally spin back everything.
Yep.
Like if I'm like a 7-iron or under, that ball, there's no chance that ball is not spinning back.
Yeah.
It spins back every time. Like every time I'm like on a par 3, I'm like, I want to hit a hole in one.
Yep.
I purposely aim past the flag because I know it's going to spin back.
Yeah.
Like I'm just like, I can't not. And the thing yesterday, when we were doing all the iron stuff, he's like, yeah, we need to get your spin rate down. And he's like, you probably spin everything, don't you? I was like, yeah. Like I can stick and almost spin back a 3-iron.
Yeah.
He's like, you also need to change a different golf ball too. He's like, you need to use a little bit harder golf ball.
Yeah.
So I was like, okay.
And sometimes that can play to your advantage if you just drop it in from the cloud. I remember when you and I were playing Indian Creek.
That par 5.
But when you hit the 3-wood,
that was the best 3-wood I've ever hit in my life.
This guy, his driver, I forget what hole it was.
It was number 7 on black.
7 on black.
Because I put the driver in the water.
You hit driver in the water.
Yep.
You hit and maybe I don't know if you dropped or your second drive was like really good.
No, I think I dropped.
You dropped because it hit and went in.
I dropped it like 260 or something like that.
And Michael hit this shot that literally just ballooned up to the clouds. Like it launched low and just like shot. It almost like went vertical, like you were taking off on like SpaceX or something.
It was wild.
And just dropped out of the sky next to the flag, and he made the putt. And I was like, this dude.
That was literally. I still remember that shot because like to this day I'm like that was still probably one of the best shots I've ever hit in my life. It was like it just happened to be when I was playing against you.
Yeah, of course. No, I still think about that shot. I was like, and in times like that, I guess the spin, and dropping it out of the sky is helpful. But more often than not, it probably hurts.
What's funny is I still play that 3-wood. That
really?
Super shitty TaylorMade Super Burner 2.0 fast with that cheap Project X shaft.
It's
still like the best club in my bag, and it's like. I've learned like how I can spin it more and how I can like spin it less.
Yeah.
So like I can still hit it 300 yards off a tee if I want.
Yeah.
But then like I can on a fairway, like if it's 260 out or whatever, like I can spin it up so it'll fit. It's kind of funny, but like for some reason that club it just like works really well, so I've just never even replaced it yet.
I think because you hit that shot,
it probably was. I do. Like I've hit so many good shots with it that like I feel bad getting rid of it, even though it's the ugliest club in the world. I hate how it looks in my bag. I'm just like this club is hideous.
It throws off the whole dynamic.
Everything else looks great, and then you just got this shitty old TaylorMade, and I'm just like, oh. But it's just too good to get rid of.
It is. I saw. Speaking of spin. I saw a Tiger. The reason he uses the highest spinning golf ball, like basically on the market, is because he's like, Tiger said, like I'm a professional of taking spin off.
Right.
Like I can take spin off all I want, but it's hard to add spin.
Yeah.
So he's like, I just want to start with the most spin possible.
Yep.
So and because of that, now he can stick a 4-iron to like a tucked pin.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? Because he has the ability to spin it even with a long iron or whatever, even like a 5-wood or something.
Whatever,
and so but he can take spin off. And that's where like is playing in Nebraska. Yeah. I'm not good at taking spin off, and it shows when it's windy. I'm like, geez, I better just rebook my tee time if it's windy.
Playing in the wind here, I've played a couple rounds like at Indian Creek. There was one day that me and my buddies played, and it was the windiest day I've ever played. It was like, I mean, if you had any sort of side spin, your ball was just it was so far away.
Well, it is helpful to play in conditions like that because when you go other places, right, like you go to Utah, you're like, now I can just aim at every flag stick ever. I remember when I went to college in South Carolina, I was like, it's never windy and it's always perfect weather.
Yeah.
So I just aim at every flag stick ever, and it's like it goes there, because I don't have to worry about the wind or bad weather conditions. And it's the same thing, I think, like practicing. My high school team practiced at Indian Creek.
Right.
And it was one of the harder courses around. And so we got pretty good playing that course.
Right.
Where when we traveled to like, a little municipal course or whatever, we're like, everything's straight and the greens are flat.
Yeah.
You know what I mean?
Yeah,
like,
very different.
Yeah. Yep. And where did we play with the turtleback greens? Remember that one time?
Beamer. Yeah.
And I remember we played there, and every green is just
all
like domed like crazy.
Yeah.
And I like chipped terribly, and I was like, I feel like I'm not chipping that bad. It's just I can't.
If you're short-sighted there, you're screwed.
You're screwed.
It all just rolls off.
And then that next week I played somewhere around here, and I was like, I'm chipping like everything to foot because
this is easy.
Yeah. So there's like cool things like that, like weather conditions, tough courses.
That's the best part about golf.
Yeah.
Especially like you said, like playing other places in the country, like South Carolina. I've never played in that part of the country, so I have no idea that you just have calm, normal conditions.
Yeah,
like
dude.
In Nebraska, if you play a round that doesn't have wind, you're pretty lucky.
Yep.
Like
the best golf lesson I ever got was moving to South Carolina.
Oh yeah,
because I played year round.
Yeah. Oh yeah. Exactly. Well, you went from like a good golfer to a really good golfer like throughout college. Like when you came back and we played that one round, I was like, God damn it, he's better than me.
College was the game changer.
Yeah. Oh yeah.
Because we play year round. You know, it's December and you're playing
golf.
And in South Carolina, there's courses everywhere.
Yeah.
So natural laws of supply and demand. When there's a bunch of supply, it's so much cheaper to play golf down there.
Oh, really?
And so, and with you show your little college ID, they give you a discount.
Yeah.
And so we would play a nicer course than like, maybe not like the nice course around here, but better quality than like a lot of the courses around here. $18.
Gosh.
When you show the student ID, it's like $18, and it's actually where Dustin Johnson grew up playing.
Oh, really?
Because he's from Columbia.
Okay, I didn't know that.
Yeah. And so they have like
there's like Dustin Johnson stuff everywhere.
Everywhere. He's like Dustin's just staring at in the bathroom.
Do they have his little Coke bag too?
Sold separately. But yeah, dude. And so we would just play like crazy every time. I mean,
I'd play if it was that cheap. I'd play all the time.
Yeah. And we would play quick too, you know.
Oh yeah.
You know,
nobody's in front of you.
You go twilight round or early in the morning. And me and my roommate he's a good golfer as well. And so we would just play quick little match, and we could play 18 holes in
under 2 hours.
Under 2 hours,
yeah,
easy.
Yeah.
And so you're like, hey, did that class get canceled? Yep. Grab your bag and you go.
Oh,
you know
heck
what I mean?
Yeah, dude.
So that's where my golf game got a lot better.
Oh, yeah.
I mean, in the winter here, I was in simulators in the wintertime. Yeah. And I was working on my swing, and I'm a big fan of simulators.
Oh,
They're great.
They are.
But
there's just something different about playing real golf.
Yep. When you got to go find your ball and hit it again.
Yep. I mean, your lie is gonna be different. Like simulator, obviously you have a perfect lie. Yeah. It's like, now you might have a shot that ball's a little above your feet, ball's a little below your feet.
Yep.
It's the same with the driving range. Like there's sometimes like I'll be at the driving range hitting balls, and I'm like, I'm so good. Like I'm so good. Like. I mean, I'm just putting everything right on these pins. I'm just like, I'm really good at golf. And then I go play around, and all of a sudden I'm just like, what is happening right now?
You're like on the range, you're like, I need to figure out how I get into Q school.
Seriously, that's like how you feel. You're like, man, I think I could do this. And then you get into a round of golf, and you're like, well, I just triple bogeyed that hole because I hooked that shot because my foot was in on a little bit of a hill.
Yeah,
it's like, it's just different.
I definitely, you could describe me as a driving range, like, as a driving range junkie.
Yeah.
We went to this thing with the former head golf coach at the University of South Carolina.
Oh, okay.
And USC, our golf team's really good.
Yeah.
I mean,
all those schools down there, aren't they all really
SEC,
good?
There's good golf teams, and a lot of those guys are, end up trying to make it on mini tours or the PGA Tour. Yep. And the practice facility is out of this world.
Oh yeah.
And so they're just really good. And I remember I went to it was like a charity thing that we went to, and we did won something where we got to go and get a lesson from him or whatever. And it was like we did the whole like Titleist Performance Institute thing, and then we did like a lesson with him. And so it was a 2-day thing. The first day was inside where they do like the the metrics on how does your body move and all this thing, and then he gives you like a lesson. And I was hitting the ball, and he was like, "Dude, I don't know what to change with your swing." Like it's he didn't say perfect, but he's like
pretty good.
Don't change anything. Yeah. He's like, "Why are you not like a +4?"
Yeah,
basically. And I was like, I don't know, I just like can't score. Like I strike it good, the ball flight looks good, like. My best shots can compete with anyone, man.
Yeah.
And he's like, yeah, I see that. Like, he was showing me all my numbers compared to, like, tour averages, whatever.
Yeah.
I was like, maybe I need to, like, try out for the
maybe I should try, yeah.
You know what I mean? And then the next day, it's outside.
Yeah.
And we do, like, short game stuff and whatever. And the first thing he does is he gives everyone a 3-wood, and he's like, all right, chip it close with a 3-wood.
What?
And I was like, no, I usually don't use 3-wood around the green.
Yeah, I don't either.
And he's like, show me how good your feel is.
Wow.
And dude, I couldn't. And it was kind of a tough lie.
Yeah.
And I was like, okay, maybe I could make this work.
Yeah.
I couldn't keep it on the green.
Oh, I'm sure.
And he was like, yeah, that's why you can't
That's
score.
why you can't score.
He's like, that's why you're a 2, not a +4.
Really?
And he's like, you have no touch around the green. I was like, I'm not a bad chipper.
No.
He's like, no, but then he like challenged me. He's like, all right, hit this shot over here. And I did, and I'd hit it to like 6 feet. I was like, that's pretty good from this tough lie. He's like, not good enough. Really? I was like, okay. So, I mean, everyone always says, chipping and putting is where you score. That's how you become a great golfer.
Yeah.
And he just exposed that for me. He was not shy about it either.
That's so funny.
And so, now I'm like, I just want to become a better chipper and putter.
Yeah.
Like, I have a good friend who's on the PJ Tour, and he is just a wizard around the greens.
You ever friend on the tour?
Well, he actually just got suspended.
Wesley Bryan?
Yeah.
No way. I didn't know you knew him.
He was on the PJ Tour.
Yeah, that whole suspension thing is stupid. So.
Yeah. But he's just a wizard.
Oh, yeah.
And so, like, he sprays it.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? But he's going to get up and down.
Yeah.
9 out of 10 times.
Easily,
and so, and then he's going to have a couple chip-ins in there, too. So it's like, it's like, that's if I really want to be a good golfer.
That's the difference.
I
mean, I would agree with you on that, because I know, like, when I was, like, high school and college, like, high school I had a year, because I played baseball my whole life.
Yeah.
Quit baseball. Like, I got into high school, made the baseball team, and I was like, I don't want to play anymore.
Yeah.
So then I golfed a lot.
Yeah.
Got a lot better at golf. But then I was still, like, basketball is what I was still playing. So I never focused on it.
Yep.
But then in college, me and Fauché started golfing a lot.
Yeah.
And we were, like, literally mid-80s to low 90 golfers.
Yeah.
Like, that was what we were.
Yeah.
And I remember, like, neither one of us were really getting any better.
Yeah.
We'd have, good shots, but, like, we had no consistency.
Yep.
Senior year of college, my last semester, I had 3 or 4 classes, and, like, my schedule, like, I didn't have a job at that point. I had already finished my internship.
Mm-hmm.
So I had all this extra time. I went up to Indian Creek every day for, like, the entire spring and just chipped and putted.
Yep.
That's all I did. Like, I barely ever hit balls. I just went up and chipped and putted because it was free.
Yeah.
And I got so much better at chipping and putting, and my scores started just going down and down and down.
Yeah.
Like, literally.
Yep.
That is the biggest difference. And I still, to this day, go up and chip and putt because I know if I don't and I start losing feel, then my scores will be worse.
Yeah.
But it's, like, crazy to think, like, that's how good they are.
Yeah.
When, like, you put it to 6 feet and you're like, I'm pretty happy with that. And it's like, that's not good enough.
Yeah, not good enough.
That's crazy.
Yeah. It just gives you so much freedom too, like when you know you're a better chipper and putter than the next guy.
You have so much more confidence.
Yeah, you're like, I'm gonna aim at that pin now.
Yeah.
Even if it's, let's say, like a red flag pin, you're like, I probably shouldn't aim at this.
Yeah.
Even if you miss the green, you're like, that's fine, I'll get up and down.
Yeah.
But, maybe like 3 or 4 out of 5 shots at that aggressive pin.
You put it there.
You hit one close and you're like, oh, now it's a tap in birdie. You know what I mean? And so it frees up so many other aspects of your game as well. We did I tell you last month I got to play TPC Scottsdale?
Oh, that's right, you did. I remember seeing that.
Yes.
So I think I sent you a message because I saw your video on Instagram on the par 3 or whatever.
Yes, which, by the way, was totally unrecognizable.
Yeah, without the grandstands.
The grandstands not being there. We were actually on the adjacent hole. Okay. And my buddy was like, "Hey, I think that's 16." And I look at it and I go, "No, that's not 16.
No, it can't be."
I was like, "That's not it." And we had a 4 caddy or whatever, and he's like, "Yeah, no, that's 16." I was like, "What?"
That's
that doesn't even look like 16. And so the whole course looks so different.
Yeah.
But I hit my shot there and landed it. I was just trying to hit the green.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? Like, if the grandstands were there, I don't want people booing at me.
Yeah.
And so but I hit the middle of the green and it just spun into the front bunker.
Okay.
And so I was like, all right, like, now I gotta work on my short game, right? And so I got up and down and made the putt, and I was like, I'll take a sandy par on 16.
Absolutely.
But just again, I think the crowd would have cheered for that. But if I haven't been working on my short game, then I get 60,000 people booing at me.
Oh yeah,
you know what I mean?
Exactly. Yeah, that's wild.
Yeah,
that's so cool though. I know when I was down in Arizona, like it was like 5 years ago. So this is actually kind of a funny story. And I don't even know if I've told this on the podcast yet, but so it was during COVID.
Okay.
So I'm working at Dairy Chef.
Yep.
You know, absolutely miserable because every Karen in the world and people are just bitching and complaining about everything, calling you in for everything. Cops are always coming out and whatnot. So I come home from work one day, just absolutely pissed. Yeah. I actually yelled at this lady on the phone. Yeah. Just like ripped into her. Yeah. Basically, maybe ruined her life. I don't know. But anyway, came home from work, just super mad. And my wife could tell. Like I just came home, grabbed a beer, sat outside, and didn't say a word to anybody. And she's like, man, he's in the mood. So I'm sitting there by myself, just on my phone. All of a sudden I get this phone call from a number I have no clue where it's coming from. I'm like, whatever. I'm like, here we go. Who's calling me? So I answer the phone. It's some timeshare company. Okay. And they're like, hey, you know, you signed up for this thing at some event. You know, we got your number. They're like, we're wondering if you'd be interested in a trip. It's a 3-day trip to any of these locations. All you got to pay is it was like $200 or something like that, and you get a 3-night stay at one of their resorts, and you just got to pay for your flights to get there. Yeah, and then all you got to do is listen to a timeshare, thing.
The pitch.
Yeah, and they're like, and you can bring up to 3 extra people, so 4 of you. I was like,
is this a scam?
I was like, so I don't have to pay anything else. I just gotta get there. And they're like, yeah. And you can bring 2 friends, and your wife or whatever. Yeah. And I was like, and I never do this because like me and my wife talk about everything with money. Yeah. I didn't say a word to her. I walked inside, grabbed my wallet, grabbed a credit card, and paid for it. And she had no clue what was going on.
She'll thank you later.
And then I do all of that, and I tell her, and she's just like, okay. So we went down to Arizona with our friends to this timeshare thing. And we could have played TPC Scottsdale, but back then we were like, I don't know, like we want to pay the money for it. So we played a different course. But it was just like the funniest, most random. So I never do anything like that where it's just like out of the blue. Yeah. But it was just one of those days where they caught me on the perfect day.
Yeah. So we were told that TPC Scottsdale is actually not the best course down there. I mean,
I believe it.
Yeah. But even for the money, they're like, you could pay less and play a better course.
Because how much was it?
We got the early tee time in I guess this is off season. It was $225.
See, that's still pretty reasonable to me to play a PGA course. Yeah.
I was like, for the rest of my life, I get to be like, oh, I hit it in the bunker there, or I hit it. Yeah. I hit the fairway there.
You can always be like, I played TBC Scottsdale.
I will say I drove the green on 1. Nice. I'll say that forever.
Heck yeah.
And so, that was the cool part of it. Yeah. But I have a friend. He was like, dude, don't waste your time at TPC Scottsdale. Really? He's like, it's a tourist trap. Yeah. He's like, it's not that good. You get better golf here at like Weekapa or I think that's what it's called, or like another course. Yeah. And I was like, okay, I could be game for that. Yeah. And then my buddy was like, nah, let's go. We're gonna remember this. Yeah. It's a tour stop, bro.
When you talk to anybody else that isn't like a big golf person that knows courses, if you say a course, they're gonna be like, okay, where's that? But if you say, I played TBC Scottsdale, Phoenix Open course, they're gonna be like, oh, sweet.
Yeah. Yeah. The one thing that was a downer of TPC Scottsdale is, and part of the reason we played, we're like, we got to get a nice polo from there. You know what I mean? Like some merch. Yeah. Merch selection slacking at TPC Scottsdale.
That's surprising.
Yes.
You would think it'd be the best.
I was like, I bet we're gonna walk in there and not know which of 100 items to pick. Yeah. And I was trying to convince myself. I was like, nah, I should get some here. Yeah. And I was like, I don't like any of this stuff.
Really?
So I got nothing to show for it other than a little video of.
That's surprising.
Of 16.
That's weird. Yeah. You would think a course like that would have a ton of stuff.
Yeah. 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 I'm a sucker for good. Yeah.
Were you traveling somewhere? Yeah. You gotta buy something.
Yeah. I'm trying to give you my money. Give me a reason to spend it. And they didn't do that for me.
You need to come on the Utah trip. Dude, it's the best.
Okay. Where do you play? Tell me all the spots you play.
So we're in St. George, Utah. Yep.
I need to do this.
We haven't played Black Desert yet. Okay. Because Black Desert, is the one that just had the PGA tournament at. Yep. We haven't played that one yet. So we're also only 40 minutes from Mesquite, which has a bunch of good courses too. That's where Wolf Creek is. Yeah. So my buddy has played Wolf Creek, but we haven't done it yet. So we've played like this year we played the Ledges, which is where we stay.
Okay, cool.
Nice course, not like mind blowing or like that,
kind of
but
more
like,
of a resort course type.
Kinda like it's really interesting because the front nine is like very just like links style.
Oh, cool.
And then the back nine, you're like really like right by all the mountains and canyons, and it's
that's
beautiful.
Cool. I
so,
like
the
that.
back nine is super cool.
Yeah.
But it's a great course, great amenities. Everybody there is super friendly. They have tons of great merch. Like all their stuff they have in the clubhouse is amazing.
Thank you.
I buy like 2 or 3 things every year because it's all so good.
Yeah.
So the Ledges we played. This year we ended up playing 2 of the city courses. And then we played Copper Rock, which is it's a newer course down there. It's only been open for like 5 years.
Okay, cool.
But it's a really nice course, and they're really growing it. And like apparently they're like in talks with like Live to like get a tournament there and stuff.
Oh, cool.
So that course was phenomenal. Like,
yeah.
The greens were lightning. I
love that.
Oh, I know, it was insane. But like playing that after like we played that like the 3rd day, and so like we've been playing on greens that are a little bit slower.
Yeah.
And then you play this course and you're just like barely touching it, it just rolls. You're just like, oh my gosh. But it was a sweet course, really nice.
I love when the greens are just like they're rock hard and they're super fast.
Dude, it's like the first time I ever experienced greens like that was when I played in the Invitational at Indian Creek.
Oh yeah.
You know, because they cut them and double roll them.
Yeah.
So it's kind of funny, like when you were talking about Tiger with this super spinny ball, because he's still playing the Bridgestone, right?
Yeah.
I played that ball for a little while.
Yeah.
And when I played in the Invite the first time, I'm like, this is the ball I've been playing.
Yeah.
And I'm like, so then I can spin it and stuff. But I'd never played on greens that were that receptive.
So it was.
So I hit. I'm not even joking. I hit some shots that were probably some of the best shots I've ever hit.
Yeah.
And I stuck them right by the flag, and my ball spun back 30 to 40 feet right off the green. And I was just like, what?
Yeah.
What is happening?
You're like, I just hit the shot of my life, and it looks like I chunked it to the front of the green.
Yeah, literally. Like I remember hitting like I hit like a pitching wedge from like 150, and I stuck this ball right by the flag.
Yeah.
And then I just watched the ball, and it just spun all the way back and rolled all the way off the front of the green. I was like, how did that happen?
Yeah.
Like I've never done that before in my life.
Yeah, dude, that's like playing. Okay, I have a hot take.
Okay.
Playing PGA Tour courses.
Yeah.
Like it's actually, I think they're easier.
You know, I heard Bryson DeChambeau say that.
He said that
in one of his videos.
Okay, maybe it's not a hot take.
Continue, because then I'll tell you what he said.
Okay, because I've played crappy courses that you pay a couple bucks and you play whatever, and you just get bad lie after bad lie after bad lie.
Yep. And
I find that if you can like hit the ball in a certain direction and avoid water and trouble and stuff like that.
Yep.
Even courses that are theoretically way harder or set up more like championship style golf that I always play. Like my score
better.
Is like I can shoot low 70s.
Yeah.
And if I play like a local, city course, I'm like dying to try to like break 80.
I know exactly what you mean. Because especially, and this is my biggest take on that, is the greens. Because when you play a green that is not a like true rolling green, you might hit the perfect putt on the perfect line, and that ball will randomly decide, I'm just going to bounce this way or roll this way. Because
it's a guessing game.
It is.
Yeah.
And that's one thing I noticed when I played like in the Invite was I putted unbelievably well because I knew if I put a ball on this line, it was going to stay on that line.
Yeah.
And so I made so many putts. Like my best round in that tournament was 76.
Yeah.
And I felt really good about that. But it was like, and I saved myself so many times with putting because I knew I was so confident in putting on those.
You knew if you started on line, it was gonna stay there.
I had so many putts where I was like, this putt is straight. And so if I got it on that straight line, I knew it was going to go in, and it did. That was honestly the coolest experience of like actually putting on good greens. I was like, this is, even though they are super fast, you get used to the speed. It's like, this is so much easier than putting on a green that you have no idea, like, if it's going to stay on line, if it's going to break this way. Like, it's just way harder on slow greens and, like, it's not good greens.
Have you heard the theory of, like, all right, if you started at the Masters, if you started on the green.
Yeah, I've heard that one.
Would you make the cut or what would you do? Knowing that the Augusta National greens are very crazy, undulating.
So before you finish that, finish that. But then I want you to talk about the Masters because you worked at the Masters, right?
Yes, I did.
Okay, so finish your thought.
So this is the theory. Like if everyone else started from the tee box, but you started on the furthest point from the green, would you? The first question is like make the cut.
Yeah.
And I actually was talking to Wesley about it, and he was like, dude, you would have to be so bad to miss the cut.
Really?
he was like, they're not that crazy.
Yeah.
Because he played in it, and he was like, it's not that absurd. And I was like, all right, let me crunch the numbers.
Yeah.
And in order to win, I forget if I said like the win by like 10 shots, or like to just win like the average winning score.
Right, because like this year was 12 under.
Yeah,
right?
you would have to average like 3.5 putts per green.
Yeah, I think I could do that, no problem.
That's what I'm saying.
I mean, obviously some golfers know, but like I know myself, like I'm pretty confident in my putting. Like I know that the odds of me 4-putting a lot of greens, even if they are tough greens, is not high.
You basically have to like 3-putt a green, 4-putt a green, 3-putt a green, 4-putt a green, and you'll win.
Yeah.
So the make the cut question is dumb.
Yeah, I'll make the cut, no problem.
The question is, will you win? And part of me, like maybe I'm overconfident, but I'm like, I feel like my average putts will be like under 3.
I agree. Yeah, I think so. I think it's going to be, I think most of your putts, you're going to 3-putt most of the holes.
Yeah.
Because, like you said, you're starting from the furthest point.
Yes.
Now, the only thing that makes it hard is, like, if you're starting at the furthest point, that might be the wrong side to be on.
Yes.
And so
then you're out of luck.
Then you could be in trouble. Yeah. But I think for the most part, you're going to 3-putt most of them from that farthest point, but you're also going to 2-putt some, and you may even 1-putt one.
Yeah.
Like,
even if you're on the wrong side of the hole, which they always say, like, at Augusta National, if you're on the right side of the hole, the course rewards you.
Yeah.
If you're on the wrong side of the hole, you pack your bags early.
Yeah.
And even if you start on the worst spot on the green, your first putt is just to get into like safe territory.
Yeah.
And then 2-putt from there, and then you 3-putt. And if you 3-putt every green, then you win.
That's how I would look at it too, because I'd be like, look, if I hit this ball and here and it has the chance that it's going to roll off the green and into the water or roll off to wherever, I'm not even going to hit it there on the first putt.
Yep.
Because I'm just strategizing to be like, I'm going to 3-putt everything.
Yep.
But get some 2-putts in there.
The first putt,
your score would be insane.
Yeah. The first putt is just to get into position.
Yeah.
And then 2-putt from there. I think we're winning the Masters.
I think so.
Yeah.
I mean, we're not hitting a single shot inside the putt.
We're not.
The thing is too, like, I mean, I would think, like, for me, I think the most nerve-wracking part of, like, playing the Masters would be hitting shots, like drivers and irons and stuff like that. Like, that's where I would be nervous. Putting, I wouldn't be as nervous unless it's, like, a putt for the win or something like that. But
I think I'm going to have a hot take again. I'm just full of hot
takes. I love it.
I think off the tee, it's not that hard.
See, that's one thing I was going to ask you about, because, like, on TV watching them, like, most of the fairways are pretty wide, it seems like. They don't miss a ton of fairways.
No.
And like, even if you miss the fairway, the rough's not that thick.
Yeah, really, there's no rough.
Yeah.
And that's the intent, because if you miss the fairway, they don't want the rough to stop it. They want the ball rolling into the trees, deep into the trees, or rolling into the water.
Okay.
And so it's like the rough actually benefits the golfers more than if it's just like pure fairway, and it will roll deep in the trees or whatever.
Yeah.
But I think where Augusta National gets ridiculously hard is the approach shot.
Right.
Because that's where, you're rewarded if you give yourself a good spot, but if you miss in the wrong spot, like you are good luck making bogey.
Right.
But yeah, dude, when I went to Augusta National, I cried.
Did you really?
I legitimately cried.
I bet. I mean, I can believe it. Like, I can't. I want to go someday, but
dude, you got to do whatever it takes. Do you do like the lottery system?
I haven't even started yet. I need to, but I just haven't done it yet. But.
Yeah. Well, because I heard this year they're cracking down on like the secondary market.
Oh, okay. So well, I kind of had heard that before, because like they pretty much said, like, if you win your ticket, like you have to go. Like you can't just like give it away or something.
Yeah. So it's but dude, when I walked on the grounds, I was like, I legitimately cried. I was like, this is the most beautiful thing I've ever seen in my life.
It was just that pretty, like everything there.
Besides my wife, I'll say this in case she watches this, it's the most like. That is heaven on earth.
It's that good, huh?
Everything is perfect.
I mean, that's what you see on TV. Everything is perfect. There's not a bad spot on the course.
Dude, everything is so like, there's basically like a ring around the course.
Yeah.
Of like what patrons see.
Yeah.
Okay, this is the best descriptor of Augusta National, is it's Disney World.
Okay.
For
golfers.
Adult men.
Okay. I love that.
You know how Disney World has the underground tunnels, and they have the magic?
Right.
Like they're pumping, sweet smells by the cookie shop, and they're like, like the road to the castle is like an optical illusion to make the castle look bigger.
Right.
That's Augusta National.
Really?
They have thought through every little detail, like even like the divot repair stuff is like the exact same color green as the fairway. Yeah. So that's why you don't see. I don't know how they do.
Oh, so like when they like the sand and stuff that they fill it with, it's green.
It's the same
it
color
matches
as
the grass.
Fairway.
No way.
Yeah. So you don't see nothing.
That's actually mind blowing that you just said. I've never even thought of that.
You don't see any acorns or like like pine tree stuff.
Right. No pine needles or anything. Yeah.
Like
you see them in the pine straw.
Yeah. But you don't see any like. There's no animals.
Yeah. I know that's the other funny thing. Like, there's no squirrels. There's no nothing.
No squirrels. I'm like, dude, how do they get these animals out of here?
Oh, they got it. They kill them all.
But they like it's crazy because they have like this ring of like the course and what patrons see.
Yeah.
And then there's like the most sophisticated like operating system of like ops on the outside, and it creates a bubble around the course.
Really?
From like the highway and Washington Road and everything.
Yeah.
And so it's this whole like system of like crazy.
So it's like you're literally in a theme park almost. Like you're in a different world.
Dude, it's ridiculous.
That's wild.
My boss told me that they replace the azalea. So they have like a whole nursery on property, obviously. Okay. And they replace like azaleas every single night because azaleas are super like delicate plants. And so if it's windy or the weather is bad and it starts to like the petals don't look great, they'll just replace it.
No way.
So it's a full, because my job, I worked night shift.
Okay.
So we would work from 7 p.m. to 7 a.m.
Okay.
All night long. We'd go home, sleep for 3 hours.
What did you do from 7 p.m. to 7 a.m.?
We just like unloaded trucks.
Okay.
So we worked at Berkman's Place.
Okay.
Which is like the VIP for like their corporate sponsors.
Okay.
He's crazy.
Oh, I bet.
They have 5 restaurants in Berkman's.
Wow.
And they fly in a Michelin chef for each one.
No way.
For 10 days.
Jeez.
And they have like a replica of 2 greens. I forget.
Yeah.
I forget which 2 greens, but for like people who have Berkman's passes to go like putt on like Augusta National greens. And it's ridiculous. Like the food is so good. Cause we make friends with the chefs.
Yep.
One of them was like a chef at like some like Vegas hotel.
Okay. Yeah.
And so they would like, I forget which one, but then another one was like a Michelin chef in Italy, and so he was like ran the pizza restaurant, and it was so good. But we became friends with them because when the shipments would come in at night, they're like, "Hey Joseph, I need this ingredient like bad. Like I need you to like make sure it gets in my kitchen, whatever." And so, we would unload trucks at night, and then there's one of the restaurants is like an oyster restaurant.
Okay.
So at 6 a.m. every day, an absurd amount of oysters would get delivered, and so we're just covered in oyster juice, like bringing stuff up. But we'd work all night, unload these trucks, go home, sleep for like 3 hours, and then go to the course and watch golf all day.
You get to go like walk and stuff. You could do whatever.
We could do whatever. We were just awesome. Basically our ticket was our employee badge, and so we did have to change. Yeah, like we couldn't wear the employee your employee stuff. Just because. We were just patrons at that point.
It is so funny too. Like I saw a video not that long ago where they talked about how it was one of the TV guys was talking about how like they have to say the word patron. They can't say fans or like whatever else. They have to refer to them as patrons.
And they don't say back nine. They say second nine.
That's right. Yeah, that was another one.
Yeah,
they had, like, there's so many different things that like they have to say these phrases.
Yeah,
like when they're referencing stuff.
Yeah, it's so magical.
Oh yeah,
it's so magical. Everything is just perfect. And so, like when we were walking, like there's parts where like patron crossing goes across like the fairway of 7, for example. Yeah. And I was just leaning down and like wipe my hand on the grass. I was like, it's so perfect. But number 7, everyone thinks like Amen Corner's like the coolest, which it's amazing.
Yeah.
But 16 is like where the party is.
I'm trying to think which one.
16 is the second par 3 where they skip it and stuff.
Yeah.
Because like it's like a built-in stadium, like the Waste Management,
right?
Because the hill's right there and you can see everything. And we would kind of wedge ourselves between 16 green and 17 tee.
Oh, sure.
Because they're right next to each other.
Yep.
And so you could watch like the shots into 16, and then you could watch them drive on 17.
Yeah.
But number 7 is it's super narrow, and there's fairway greenside bunkers around the whole thing.
Right.
And behind the green, there's like a scoreboard.
Yes.
And so the whole thing is just framed up, and there's a crosswalk across the fairway.
Right.
So you walk across the fairway and you just look, and it's like so picturesque.
Yeah.
Like everything's framed up perfectly. Like the green's like tilted up, and you see the bunkers, and it's just like, where am I right now?
Oh, that's so cool.
It's amazing. But yeah, dude, like for the magical thing, I got another story.
Okay.
I don't know if you remember, not this year, but last year, when that tree fell in the storm.
Oh yeah. Yeah.
So,
didn't they say it was like gone within like an hour or something like that?
Less.
No way.
Literally, dude, we like close to like our time to clock in, we'd start making our way to Berkman's to clock to get changed and clock in.
Yeah.
And we had heard like it was super windy and rainy, so we went a little.
So were you working that year that it happened?
Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah. So we change, we get into our work attire, we get in, and someone's like, "Oh my gosh, like these trees fell right between like 16 and 17." Yeah. And I was like, "Oh my gosh." And they're like tournament had like the rounds had finished, whatever, and I said to my boss, I was like, "Can we get in a cart and go see it?"
Yeah.
And he was like, "It's already cleaned up." I was like, no, that happened like 35 minutes ago. He's like, "Yeah, dude, he's like, I guarantee it's gone."
Really?
And so I was like, "Geez, oh, peace." I was like, "Do they just like prepare for that sort of thing?"
Yeah.
Like the moment that thing hit the ground, they had chainsaws on it and were loading it out.
That's so insane.
I've heard a couple other stories. I don't know what I'm exactly allowed to tell, but like
I don't think it matters.
Like a delivery truck had hit the curb.
Okay.
And they paint all the curbs.
Okay.
And so there was like a tire mark on it. And the guy that was working the pro shop like saw that. He was like, "Oh, dang, it left a scuff over there."
Yeah.
He turned around, started loading more polos. He turned back around, and there was a guy painting it, and then walked away. He was like, What the? Like, where?
It's like they have like magical people that just like appear and just fix things.
Appear. And there was something happened to like one of the because there's no like temporary things.
Right.
Like the bathrooms are all like
they're all permanent ones.
Super nice. Yeah. And something had happened like one of the bathrooms had gotten destroyed. And the next day it was rebuilt. That's the story that they told me. I'm like, and part of me, I'm like, people are like, "Oh, that's just fake." I believe it,
dude.
Bro.
Maybe it's a simulation in the Masters.
You walk in and they just put VR headsets on you.
Seriously.
Yeah, dude. But it's just so magical.
That's wild.
And I told Peyton, I was like, I mean, she's kind of gotten into golf.
Yeah.
Not like playing, but watching
That's
it.
That's how my wife is.
Yeah.
She loves watching the majors. Like we pick players like who we think's gonna win and stuff. Like, but she sucks at golf.
Yeah.
She's never gonna be a golfer.
Peyton is not interested in playing, but because I have it on all the time, she starts following the players and. Her favorite golfers are based on their wife or how cute their kids are.
I mean, that makes sense.
Yeah.
So who's her favorite players?
She likes Scotty Scheffler a ton.
It's hard to beat Scotty Scheffler. She likes Scotty Scheffler. Besides getting arrested that one time, he's like the trophy boy.
I think maybe he deserved. No, I'm just kidding. Yeah. I love Scotty Scheffler.
He is. He's such a good guy.
Yeah.
He's so good too.
But I said to her, I was like, we're gonna go to the Masters one day.
That's like, literally my wife told me, she's like, it's on my bucket list. Like she's like, I want to go to the Masters. I'm like, yeah, I know, me too.
Yeah. So Peyton actually started making last year. We had like a little Masters party.
Oh, nice.
And she made like the Georgia peach ice cream sandwiches. She got like peach ice cream and sugar cookies, and it was just like. Yeah, dude it's magical.
It seriously is so magical. I don't know what it is. Like, I love watching all the majors. Don't get me wrong, but there's just something about the Masters.
Yeah.
It's just different. And I think part of it too is because like here it's like golf season is just starting.
Yeah.
So it like really feels like it's the official start of golf season.
Yep.
But it's just something about watching it. And it's like I've even heard like with their TV coverage, like the way they do their TV coverage, like they have all the rights to everything. Yep. Like nobody can tell them what to do.
Because they give it away for free.
Yeah. Yeah. They don't charge like anything apparently. Yeah. So like they can do whatever they want.
Yeah. It's crazy. So the Augusta National Golf Club gives out loans to the city of Augusta.
Really?
they quite literally fund that whole city.
Really?
And if you've ever been to Augusta
I heard
is
it's kind of shitty.
It's like just a trash
Really?
like little city.
That's so funny.
And then you're like,
you have a slice of heaven in there, though.
How is heaven on earth in this city?
That's
like,
what I've always heard. Yeah.
Literally across from Augusta National, it's like sketchy gas stations. Yeah. Like,
that's so weird.
And but right in there, so like, I mean, they own everything.
Yeah.
Like it's absurd and it's so cool.
That's awesome. They've obviously figured it out. They know what they're doing.
What'd you think of this year's Masters?
It was great, dude. Yeah. I mean, it was such a roller coaster. I'm very happy for Rory because I really love seeing him win the career Grand Slam and finally get that Masters ever since he blew that first one, years ago. Yeah. But like I love Bryson, so like I was cheering for Bryson too. Yeah. I was happy with either one of them winning.
Same.
When they got to number 12, the par 5.
Yep.
And Rory's up
13 is par
13,
5.
Yeah. Rory's up by 5 strokes. Lays a fairway wood out there. Yeah. Hits a nice approach. Has an 87-yard wedge shot to a massive green that you should be playing left of the hole.
Yeah.
And then he dumps it in the creek.
Yeah.
Me and David were watching it, and we were just like,
yeah.
What just happened?
Doing? Why are you even aimed anywhere
close?
Yeah.
Like,
yeah.
And then the next hole he bogeys. And then Rose like went, with birdie and everything. So all of a sudden he was tied or down. And I was just like, he's going to blow it again.
Yeah. Dude, it was a roller coaster of emotion.
It was insane.
I did hear, because when he hit that, I said, something went wrong.
Yeah.
There's no way
he missed
Rory's caddy let him aim there.
Yeah.
Or there's no way that he missed that bad. And afterwards, someone asked him about it, and he said, the ball was on a little bit of an upslope.
Yeah.
And typically, I always I pull my wedge shots if they're on an upslope.
Right.
So he was like, I was still aimed left of the flag.
Yeah.
But
he just overcorrected, basically.
Yes. He was like, I didn't aim as far left as I wanted because I didn't want to just yank it into the trees either.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? And so he was like, I aimed left of the flag, but I just overcompensated.
Yeah. I'm sure I figured that's what it was.
Yeah.
But it's just like he had been hitting shots so well. You just don't expect that from a pro on a shot like that. Yeah. That's why it was just so wild.
I was a lifelong Rory McIlroy fan.
All right, I've always been a big Rory fan.
And I like golfers based on their golf swing.
He's got one of the best swings ever.
Is.
Especially his driver swing.
Seriously,
it's so
bro.
Good.
Everything about I like to think I have a good golf swing.
Yeah.
And I always
try to Rory.
Yeah. And so I like guys based on their golf swing.
I agree.
But in the last couple year or so, I've Rory has kind of become a little sour to fans and stuff.
Yeah.
And it's kind of turned me off of rooting for him as much. I'm like, all right, now I'm just a Scotty guy. Yeah. Because he's the most lovable man alive.
Golden boy now.
He is.
Yeah.
And I was like, as we were watching the Masters, I was talking to my grandpa.
Yeah.
And my grandpa's a great golfer.
Yeah.
He's 78, has shot his age twice.
Yeah, we need to talk about that too, because you've played Harbortown, haven't you?
No.
No, you haven't played Harbortown.
Never played Harbortown.
Okay, I thought maybe you had.
No, okay. But which, you know why? My grandpa says it's the most overpriced golf course in
really?
America.
I thought it wasn't even that expensive.
It's not.
But yeah, he's just saying it's not overrated.
He's like, it's overrated.
Really?
So yeah, which might be another. I'm just full of hot takes, but that's I'll abide by my. I'll stick with.
So
my
finish
grandpa.
your Rory point.
So Rory, been such a big fan of him, but just hard to root for him when he's like that.
Yeah.
And I was like, I think in the history of golf,
yeah.
there's never been more pressure on one player to win one tournament.
One tournament, yeah.
Because you think, if Tiger didn't win a tournament, he'd be you would expect him to win a certain tournament. Same with Rory. And maybe in any sport ever.
Yeah.
There's so much pressure on one person to win one tournament, and I think that's starting to weigh him down.
Well, especially if you think about it, he won all those majors so fast, so early in his career, so it's all he has left is the Masters.
Yeah.
And it took him, 11 years? Or 15 years to win the Masters. It's 11 years since he won his last major.
Yes.
So it's 14 or 15 years since he blew the Masters.
Yeah.
But, all he has to do is win the Masters, and he just couldn't win it.
Yeah. And just the fact that all the stars, his game is made so well for Augusta National.
Oh, yeah.
Everything.
Yeah.
And so I was like, I'm so excited for Rory.
Yeah. I
I'm not a crier, but I also cry. I teared up when Rory won. I just love golf.
Yeah.
Okay?
Dude,
those
golf
might be
is
the
the
only
best.
two things I've cried at
Golf
in the
is the
last
best.
5 years. But when he won that, I was like, I'm so excited to see Rory the rest of the year.
Yeah, I think he's gonna be a different person, honestly. Yeah. I think because he finally got that like monkey off his back of like winning another major, and on top of that, it being the Masters.
Yeah,
I like you said, I think he's just gonna be a different person.
Yeah.
I would agree.
I'm like, it's crazy. Like, you see like professional athletes when they're just playing loose, they're playing free. You're like, all right, they're in the zone.
Yep.
Rory has just had so much pressure on him that like I wonder how good he'll play when he's playing free.
I know.
You know what I mean?
Like now it's like he literally, if he doesn't win another major the rest of his career, I don't think he's gonna feel like
he's fine.
Yeah, he's not gonna feel any pressure. It's like whatever.
Yeah,
and I think he's still gonna win plenty more.
Oh yeah. I seriously think this year could be. This is my prediction. This year could be arguably Rory's best year of his career.
I believe it
because he's kind of like gotten all the weight off his back.
Yep. When you look at how close he was, like in so many majors in the last like couple of years, he's been really close multiple times.
Oh yeah.
And so like now it's like now the pressure's gone.
The tied second for Rory at majors in the last 4 or 5 years is absurd.
Well, like the U.S. Open last year. I mean, he absolutely blew that.
Yeah.
I mean, not that like he blew it like by missing those putts. Like those putts were really hard putts. It's the U.S. Open. Let's be real.
Yeah.
But it's like he had that tournament won.
Yeah.
And he just lost it with those putts. And he almost did it in the Masters. When he didn't make the putt on 18, I was like, he's going to lose. Justin Rose is finally going to win.
Yeah.
And then that shot on the playoff hole, though, when he hit it, I was like, he's got the same shot he just had. There's no way he screws this up. Yeah. And then he put it perfect.
Yeah. It was so fun. It was almost just like you could see the relief and the pressure just weighted off him.
Yep. When he hit that final putt and just fell to the ground and was just balling, I was like, I knew that's what was going to happen. But it's like, can you imagine like how he felt going into that putt?
No.
Like
I legitimately cannot. But going to the PGA Championship at Quail Hollow, the U.S. Open, I don't know where that is.
I don't know where that's at this year either.
And the Open in Ireland.
Yeah.
I'm like, this could be Rory. Could he take the career Grand Slam into like the same year Grand Slam?
He could literally like. I mean, I wouldn't doubt that he's wins at least one more major this year.
Yeah.
I mean, and he could easily win them all. When Rory is on his game and he's putting well,
that's
he is. When he is putting well, he is the best golfer on the planet.
Nobody can beat him.
No, yeah, I agree with you. Me and David have talked about that multiple times. When he is putting well, he's the best golfer.
Yeah, when he started Friday and Saturday, he just was putting so well.
Yeah,
he teed to green. He really didn't change all that much, like in all 4 rounds.
Yeah,
but he just started putting so good. I was like, oh.
It was so funny on Thursday when he had such a great round going. And then he doubled 2 of the last 4 holes, and all of a sudden went to even. I was like, dude, Rory, like, come on. And then he shoots 6 under the next day, and then 6 under the next day. Yeah. I'm just like, he's playing incredible golf. Like, he literally just had 2 bad holes on that first day.
Yep.
Otherwise, he has played almost perfect golf.
Yeah. Yeah. No, it's so fun to see, like, a really good player, like, play their best.
Yeah.
Like, watching Scotty play good, or, like, Prime Tiger.
Oh, yeah.
It's just, like, when you see someone in their element, like, doing what they are the best in the world at, like, you cooking up a freaking dairy chef burger, bro. It's just, like, you see someone in their element is just, like, world class.
Yeah. It's just funny. Like, it's crazy when you see those guys. When, like, the shots that Rory hit in that tournament were insane.
Yeah.
Like, I mean,
15? His shot at 15, swooping around the tree and stuck it to
and like the day before, you know, he hit that perfect shot too. It was on the same hole. Perfect drive.
Yeah.
Hit that 6 iron, just started walking after it. I was like, oh, this is going to be good.
when they walk after it like that.
Yeah, when they walk after it with just like a pace, you're like, this shot's going to be good. Because Tiger used to always do that too.
Yeah. And when I do that, it always comes up short.
I'm like, oh, I did that once a couple of years ago. I was playing up in Minnesota, and it really was a good shot, but it's like it didn't end up being, you know, like a perfect. But it was like it was this par 5, and it's a super long par 5, and I hit a great drive, you know, just pipe to drive, and it's a dogleg right. But if you hit it far enough, you get past the corner, you can go for it in 2.
Yep.
So then I had a 3-wood. It was like 260 into a wind. Same 3-wood.
Yeah, yep.
And I just murdered this 3-wood and hit it so perfect. It was like I like club twirl and started walking after it. Even though I got a cart, I just started walking.
Just meet me up there.
Yeah. And it hits the green. Ended up like, I mean, it still had like, I think 15 or 20 feet, but it was like, but I hit it so good. Like it was just pure. It's so funny to do that type of stuff.
Yeah.
Like they do it. It's like 3 feet away.
Yeah. Yeah. Did you, have you ever played Shoreline?
No.
It's in Council Bluffs. and there's a hole there. I think it's like 13 or 15. It's like a short par 4 because it's all water on the left. It kind of like dog legs left.
Mm-hmm.
So to the flag stick, it's like 235.
Okay.
But you typically like play
out. Yeah. Yep.
And the wind was a little off the left, so I was like, I'm not worried about the water.
Mm-hmm.
I can kind of start it at the flag, and if it moves, then it's safe.
Yeah.
And so and especially with like a 2-iron, when you stripe it, it feels so good.
Yeah.
And I hit this 2-iron just so high in the air.
Yeah.
Hits the green right next to the flag, off the flag stick.
Yeah.
And it had rolled off the green.
No way.
And I was like, that felt so good. In my club twirl, that thing was
spinning like 5,000 RPM.
Yes, bro. I mean, it was spinning more than a golf ball.
Yeah.
And I was like, man, I wish someone was here to I was playing with like a couple buddies, but neither of them were really good. I was like, you guys don't know how good that shot was.
You don't appreciate it like some other people would appreciate that.
Yeah, but there's just something about striking, especially like a 3-wood or a 2-iron.
When you hear something like that and you hit it so online and like just stick it close, it's just such a different feeling for guys that aren't pros.
Yeah.
Like, I mean, pros, it's a good feeling for them, but they do that a lot more often. For us, it's like when we do that, we feel like a pro for that moment.
I'm like, maybe I should reevaluate my career.
Yeah, maybe I should reevaluate. I should probably just go to the Q school. Try and get on tour.
Maybe I'll send an email to Liv.
Maybe they'll take me.
Yeah. What are your thoughts? We haven't talked about PGA versus Liv.
I think Liv's gonna die in the next year or two. Personally, I don't have anything against Liv.
Yeah.
It's a weird thing because I mean, like if I got offered that much money, it'd be hard to say no to it.
I probably would.
Yeah. But at the same time, I think you can see a lot of those guys. They don't probably regret it because of the money, but you can tell that they miss the PGA.
Yeah.
Like John Rahm, I think he is miserable.
Yeah.
I think he hates his life right now.
Yes, I agree with you.
Like
a lot of them, they just don't have the hunger anymore.
Yeah, because there's
everything's guaranteed.
Who cares who wins a LIV tournament?
Yeah.
Nobody's going to remember who won this LIV tournament.
Yep.
They're going to remember if you won a major or won the Players Championship.
Yep.
People are going to remember that and care. Yeah. But like you win a LIV tournament, you just won a bunch of money, but who cares?
Yeah. I like to think about things very from a business, my mind just went to business school.
Yep.
I work for a church now, but I'm on the kind of the operations side of it. And my theory is that the PGA Tour is just trying to cut off all their supplies, just outlast them.
Yeah.
Because the PGA Tour will last way longer.
Forever. Go ahead and finish. I have a thought.
Okay. But my thinking is YouTube golf is the X factor. And it is getting more views than PGA Tour and LIV.
Yeah.
And LIV's strategy to promote themselves via YouTube golf is much more likely to succeed than the PGA Tour just saying no, we're sticking with our way. The fact that I'm biased towards Wesley, I know, but the fact that the PGA Tour suspended him indefinitely I'm like, you just cut off your biggest attraction to driving traffic to your product. And now the LIV's doubling down.
Yeah.
That night they posted a Wesley highlight reel.
Did they really?
Right? And so I'm like, the LIV could change the game here. Yeah. I agree with you. I think they're burning money.
Yeah.
But they got a lot of money to burn.
Yeah.
And I also think, another hot take, I'm going to lay out all my takes and then let you take it. Have you watched much of the TGL?
I have watched some, yes.
I think the TGL is perfectly positioned to be the bridge between the PGA Tour and LIV.
Okay, so you think some LIV guys are going to come to the TGL?
So I think, because the TGL is a PGA Tour sanctioned thing, right? So they got that off their backs. So the PGA Tour has to like you if they're going to partner with you.
Yep.
The TGL is teams of 4, different, cities all around.
Yep.
LIV is teams of 4.
Yep.
Why would the TGL not just be teams of 3, right?
Right.
That makes actually more sense.
Yeah.
But it allows the LIV teams to much more easily integrate into the TGL.
Yep.
So you could have Phil's team, the High Flyers, the San Diego High Flyers.
Yeah.
Or they just integrate into teams.
That's true.
And now it's the PGA Tour versus LIV.
Yeah.
which is what everyone
everyone wants to see. Yeah.
Yep. And I think that's the path forward. That's my it's my hair way out ballpark.
That makes sense though.
Theory.
I've never even thought about that.
But yeah, I think it could be good. And then let's say you have like another TGL stadium in California and one in like Texas or Chicago, and you do events like, Monday and Tuesday night. You do these different things because it's fun to watch.
Yeah, it is pretty entertaining.
Yeah,
I saw the clip when Tiger hit a 99-yard shot and it was actually supposed to be 199.
You said 99. He hit it 99. Yeah,
they're like 199.
Yeah,
he's like, what? Yeah,
yeah. He's old. He doesn't know how to look
he
at
probably
the
can't hear.
Yeah, I would love to play on that thing.
That would be cool.
Yeah.
It's wild to watch. Like it's a pretty insane setup.
I heard some guys saying, like Billy Horschel or whatever, he was like, the screen is actually way farther from the tee box than you think.
Okay.
So if you hit a draw, the ball starts turning before it hits the screen.
Oh.
So he's like, it's crazy.
So when you hit it, you might think it looks like you're like missing it left, but then you're not.
Right.
Right.
He's like, it truly is like a massive screen, and it's crazy. Like a look into like what it is. It's absurd, but. Yeah, I think I'm with you. I think the PJ Tour is just trying to cut off all the oxygen to live and see how long they can last.
Yeah.
But I think if Live really utilizes, because YouTube Golf is like the place right now. It's outperforming PJ Tour and Live.
Yeah, I mean, I look at this because like Bryson. I used to hate Bryson.
Same.
I hated him.
I thought
he
so
was
annoying.
Just the most annoying douche to watch.
Yes.
And now I love him.
Yeah.
But that's because of his YouTube channel.
Yeah.
Like you got to see a completely different side of him.
Yep.
And now he's like everybody loves Bryson.
Yeah.
Like the fans love him. And it's I don't think he would have been able to do that had he not gone to Live. Because he has way more time to do his YouTube stuff.
Yeah.
Because of Live, because they don't have as many events.
It's a really good point.
So he is able to do a lot more and has become a lot more popular because of all the YouTube stuff that he does. And I don't think he would have ever done that on the PGA.
Phil Mickelson now is like going crazy on YouTube.
Yeah, everybody is. Like, they're all of a sudden they're just like, hey, we got time.
Yep.
We can still be famous with the American, people.
Yeah.
I mean, Phil's always playing with Grant Horvat or whatever.
Yeah.
That dude's so funny. It was funny because I like him a lot.
Yeah.
David hates him.
Grant?
Yeah.
Oh.
Can't stand him. He's like, I don't know what it is. I just can't. He's like, I can't stand him. I'm just like, why?
The golden boy.
I'm like, is it just because of his big teeth?
Yeah.
I was like, I don't know. Honestly, to me, he looks like Phil Mickelson. He looks like a young Phil to me.
That's hilarious.
Yeah, he hates him. I'm just like, I like watching him. Like, he's so good.
Well, I just saw the video of Phil and Grant doing their 2v2 challenge against
Dailies.
That one was crazy. Yeah. And they just released one with Josh Allen and John Rahm.
Nice.
It is, if you haven't watched it, I haven't
watched it.
They released both parts of it.
Yeah.
It's probably the best match I've seen on YouTube.
Really?
Flat out, period.
No way.
Like, it is so good. And it's intense. It is intense.
That's
awesome. It's really good.
Yeah.
So, I haven't finished the second part because it goes to extra holes.
Oh, nice.
Yeah.
Are they pretty long? I guess I haven't even really paid attention.
It's they're like an hour each.
Okay.
Yeah.
I guess it's not bad. Because I see clips all the time on Instagram of all this stuff. And sometimes they'll be longer clips, but I'll sit and watch the whole thing. Just watching it and just this is so fun to watch.
Yeah. Well, it's crazy, dude. Just how YouTube has changed. Podcasts.
Yeah.
Now they're more long form. Mm-hmm. YouTube Golf is an hour and a half. Videos or whatever.
I usually get my most streams and views from my podcast on YouTube.
Really?
Mm-hmm.
Versus a 10-minute video?
Yeah. People, instead of listening on Spotify or Apple, for whatever reason, I tend to get more on YouTube. And I don't know why that is, but
I watch I'm a big podcast guy, and I watch all my podcasts.
Yeah. I prefer to watch them if I can. There's times I listen to them when I'm at work, so a lot of times I can't.
Yeah.
But and that's part of the reason, even with my podcast, I do make sure I do video.
Yeah.
Because, even sometimes I'll be listening to one and all of a sudden there's a part where it's I want to see what's happening.
Yeah.
And then I'll pull up, and be able to watch it. But, yeah. I like watching them. They're fun to watch.
Yeah. I think, so much about what I like about it is, people sometimes communicate with their bodies.
Yeah.
Their facial expressions.
You see their emotions and stuff. Yeah.
And it adds a whole nother layer
exactly.
to it that you don't get just in in audio.
Yeah.
But and if I'm like on an airplane or at work or whatever, like I'll do audio.
You'll listen to it. Yeah. It depends on the podcast. I feel like a lot of times too.
Yeah.
But yeah,
dude.
Yeah. No, I think. I think Liv's gonna die personally, but like you said, there's avenues that they could make it work. So I just think that a lot of those guys, when their contract's up, I'm just curious to know if they would re-sign with Liv, or if they would be like, you know what, we made all this money now.
Yeah.
Now let's try and go back to PGA, see if they'll let us back in, type of thing.
I think Brooks is one of them who he wants back.
Yeah.
Like, but at the end of the day, it's like, if these guys, like, you can tell they're kind of like, oh, I'm kind of set now.
Yeah. Well, that's the thing. He came out, like, he's one of the few that did come out on a podcast or something like that and said, I signed for the money.
Oh,
like, he literally was just like, I signed for the money. That's what I did. And it's like, I mean, I get it. Like, But yeah, I just think a lot of them are missing that interaction and, fame with the American people and the other guys on tour that they probably, all hung out with.
Yeah. Well, I get it. Like, it's fun to, like, travel all around the world and have tournaments in Singapore and Hong Kong or whatever. But, I mean, so much of what makes the sport, like, revenue producing is the media rights on TV. Yeah. And so when, like, I love Formula One. Yeah. I don't watch hardly any Formula One races because they're at, like, 4 a.m.
That's the problem. The times are terrible.
Yeah. And so, like, primetime TV, it's like, in America, you would pay so much more money to get the 6 p.m. slot versus like a 2 p.m.
Yeah. When I know I can turn on golf at 2 o'clock on a Saturday or Sunday, I know I can turn on the TV and golf's going to be on from 2 to 6.
Yeah. But yeah, I think Liv is like doing it good, but like there's a couple key elements that's like, it's not going to be like, even like the shotgun start, like everyone finishes at the same time. Like that's a cool concept, right? It's like 4 holes left. Who's going to be, because it's like a live leaderboard. Right. It's not like, oh, he's in the clubhouse at 4 under. Who's going to beat him? It's like, no, everyone knows where everyone is at. Live leaderboard, which like, it's almost like a Formula One take. I don't know if you've ever watched Formula One. Formula One take on golf, which is kind of cool, but yeah, we shall see.
Yeah. I don't know. We'll see, but it's still fun to watch.
Yeah.
But I just don't watch a lot of it, the Liv stuff.
I don't think I've ever watched Liv.
I've watched some, and it's just like I'll randomly like turn the TV on or something like that, and it'll be on. I'm like, oh, Liv's on. Well, it's golf. I'll watch it. But
there's a couple guys I miss. Like I miss DJ.
He does, and the funny thing is, like, I feel like DJ is one of the few that's like I don't even care anymore. Like
he's kind of getting a little chunky.
Yeah, and he's not even like playing that well anymore. No. Like. It's like he's making his money, and he's just kind of like whatever.
Whatever, I don't care.
Yeah. But I miss him because I love DJ. Was like my favorite golfer. And now it's just when he like shows up at a major, I'm like, he don't have a chance.
Yeah. He was one of those guys that when he was in his prime, he was hard. Like we were saying with Rory,
I mean, he had so many wins. Like he struggled in the majors for a long time. Finally, obviously won a U.S. Open and a Masters, but like he was winning lots of tournaments.
Yeah. What was it? I think it was like 2018 or something. He was just on a roll. I think he won like almost double digit. Or maybe
he had like didn't he have like 7 or 8 wins in a season or something like that?
He was on a roll. I was like, oh geez, like he's gonna do some damage.
Yeah, he was one of the best golfers in the world. I mean, I don't remember if he was number 1 at that point or not. He might have been.
Yeah, I don't know. I saw something that Scotty Scheffler is like. He's been world number 1 for however long, and it's like he's now 2nd place, I think, for holding world number 1 the longest. Like, congratulations, hold it for 13 more years, and you'll pass Tiger.
That's what I saw. It was like 11 years or 12 years. He's still at number 1. It's like that's just insane to think about,
dude. If you look up Tiger Woods stats,
oh, they're nuts. I see those things all the time. Just like
they're hard to believe.
Yeah.
I don't think there's another player in their respective sport that was as dominant as Tiger.
Oh yeah, no, I agree, and like. People, a lot of times will be like, well, is he the best or is Jack the best? I'm like, Tiger's the best.
Yeah.
If Tiger didn't get hurt or, go through his whole scandal and like that, he would have 150 wins in like 25 to 30 majors.
Yes.
Like, it's just.
He was absurd.
I still watch clips from him. Anytime I come across clips, I would just sit there and watch him, and I'll just sit there and I'll just like, oh my gosh, he's so good.
I recently just watched this thing on YouTube. It was like, Tiger 2000 or whatever, and they go through his whole year of 2000, and the thing that stood out to me most was like his playing competitors. They were all just like hopeless. Like they were just like
they're just like basically they're just like, well, there's no chance of winning this one.
They're like, I played the best golf of my life and I lost by 8 shots.
Yeah.
Like literally
it's just like they had no chance. And it was, I remember seeing like it was a stat from, it was like the majors for like a 5-year or like 5 or 10 year span or something like that. And Tiger Woods in all the majors combined was like 135 under par or something like that.
Jeez.
And second best was Phil Mickelson at plus 99. Like that's how much better he was in like that stretch. It was just
holy smokes.
Yeah, like he was over 200 shots better in majors for whatever year span it was.
There is no baseball player in the history of the game that was that much better than the second best baseball player or football player or
basketball, whatever.
Yeah,
like
no shot.
Nobody.
His stats, you look at them and they're like, that looks fake.
Well, it's just like the scoring average. Like last year, Scheffler had the lowest scoring average. It was a top 10 scoring average for a season.
Yeah.
He had the 7th best scoring average in tour history on a season.
Yeah.
Tiger has 1st, 2nd, 3rd, 4th, 5th, and 6th place.
That is just stupid.
Yeah.
It's crazy. And it's actually like, it's sad to see him keep getting hurt.
I know, because you want to see him like be back to that, and he'll never be back to it. But it's like maybe he'll get healthy enough to like make a run at something. But if he wouldn't have blew out his leg in that stupid accident in California, he was right at that point where he was. He won the Masters and he was back.
Yeah.
And then he just destroyed his leg, and now it's just like I don't know if he's ever gonna be back.
Yeah, because his back is fine now.
He's literally just says he's like I just can't walk. Like that's what gets me. He's like I just can't walk all the rounds. That's what gets him.
Hopefully we can see him on the TGL stuff for a while. Because
I'll be curious to see if he does the senior tour because he can go on the senior tour next year.
Oh, wow. I feel like that's a shot to his ego.
I feel that way too. Like, I don't know if he'll do it, but it would be kind of funny, especially if he like got healthy enough and then showed up and then started like doing on the senior tour what he did his whole career, just like dominating.
Remember when Phil did that?
Yeah.
He like won like 5 of like 10 tournaments.
And he's just like,
he's like, this is dumb. Yeah. I'm going to go to live.
Yeah. I'm not making enough money. Yeah, I mean, they don't make that much money there. Yeah. So
I mean, it's to keep your sponsorship stuff.
That is one thing that I was going to mention earlier with Live is the Live did force the PGA to make a lot of changes on how they paid out players and how much they paid out.
Yeah.
And so I think that was a really good thing.
Yeah.
Because the guys on the PGA make a lot more money now.
Yeah.
And that was a big thing that they talked about because, when you miss a cut, you don't get paid anything. Now they have so many tournaments where there's no cut and you get paid no matter what.
Yeah. I'm a capitalist through and through. Competition brings the best out of everyone. Yeah. And the PGA Tour didn't have any competition, right? And so the fact that they do is like to the benefit of the PGA Tour just as much as it is for anybody else. Yeah. But yeah, dude, I think I'm very optimistic on the future of YouTube golf.
Yeah, it's growing. Yeah. I mean, it's pretty fun to watch.
It offers everything that traditional golf can't.
Yeah.
And there's always this place for like I'm the biggest golf nerd of all time. Mm-hmm. Like I'm gonna watch the PGA Tour forever. Yeah. But YouTube golf, like, dude, I don't even watch TV anymore. Yeah. I just watch YouTube.
Yeah. I know. Same thing for me too. Like
it's just so good. The stuff on there is so good.
Well, and what's funny, because you were talking about Wesley getting suspended, was the PGA invited Grant to come play in a tournament. And I'm like, he just played in that content creator live thing.
Yeah.
Like, why are you inviting him, but yet you're suspending Wesley Bryan?
I know. It is a little bit interesting.
Yeah.
I don't fully... I would love to sit in the... I'm sure there's reasons behind all of it. Yeah. And I'm a fan of the PGA Tour through and through.
But they do some dumb stuff.
But I'm like, I'm trying to figure out why. Yeah. Like, help me understand.
What's the reason?
Yeah.
Like, he didn't play in a live tournament.
Yeah.
He played in a content creator, which he is a content creator. Like, I mean,
he did say he's gonna like try to appeal it because when the PGA Tour wrote the rules that you know you can't play in a non-PGA Tour sanctioned event where you lose your status or whatever. Yeah, he was like, I don't think when they wrote that rule the intention was for like a YouTube golf video. Yeah, he's like, I wasn't playing like in a competitive event. Yeah, I was playing for like some YouTube golf thing. Yeah, you know what I mean. So we will see. Yeah. I think they're making a big, even if it goes against the rule or not, they're making a big mistake from a business perspective because why would you not attach yourself to the fastest growing entity in the sport? Mm-hmm. You know what I mean? Yeah. Phil Mickelson just gave Grant equity in his For Wellness business.
Oh, really?
He literally gave it to him.
Wow.
Grant didn't have to pay nothing.
Dude, I'm telling you, I think Grant is like Phil's long lost kid.
I think
I'm
you're
telling
right.
you. I'm telling you.
Phil loves Grant so much.
That's what I'm saying. I'm just like, it looks like him. Like, I'm just like, it's
Oh,
probably.
you think it's
I think it's like
his
his kid. I think he's like a kid that he had like way back in the day that like nobody knew about with a different woman.
He's like, I can't put you in my will,
Yeah,
but I'm gonna give you
here's what I'm gonna do.
equity.
He's the only one that knows. I swear, that's what it seems like to me.
That is so funny.
That's my hot take.
that is funny. I mean, he does love him. Yeah, that's so funny. I never even thought about that. Yeah, that's so good.
Yeah.
Grant is seems like a really good dude.
He seems like it.
Yeah.
I love listening to him like talk about how he's just like, I literally could not do competitive golf. He's
Yeah.
like, I just couldn't do it. He's like, I literally like I could not take pressure.
Yeah.
And because everybody's like, they all kept asking him, like, don't you try and go pro? He's like, I can't.
Yeah.
He's like, I literally can't do it.
Yeah.
He's like, and I don't even like it. He's like, I hate it. He's like, it just makes me sick. Like when I have to do it, like trying to be a competitive like pro golfer. He's like, I hated it.
That's crazy. I don't think I ever heard that because he won the Creator Classic.
Yeah, right. But it's just because like when he was playing like competitive like college golf or whatever, he's like, I just choked all the time.
Yeah.
He's like, I could not take the pressure. And he's like, because they were asking him like, you know, you're good enough. You could probably go pro or try and go pro. And he's just like, I couldn't do it then, and I don't even want to. He's like, I hated it.
Yeah, and also like, why would you?
Yeah, if you're doing that well doing YouTube golf, yeah, absolutely.
Yeah. No, he's gonna he's doing all right.
Yeah.
But,
all right. Well, let's see. We're running an hour 30.
Last
thing I want you to finish.
Okay.
I want you to finish with this. I want to hear about your hole in one because I haven't heard about your hole in one in person.
Okay, this is a great question. This has been so fun, by the way.
Yeah, it's been a blast. We'll do it again.
So, in Hilton Head, South Carolina, where my grandparents live, they're members at a club called Berkeley Hall, and it's my favorite golf course ever. I know it more than any golf course in the world because they've been members there since 2001.
Oh,
and I was born in 2000.
Yeah.
And so we'd always been traveling there and everything. And so, like, my dog's name is Berkeley.
Nice.
After Berkeley Hall. And so my grandpa and I were playing with two of his friends.
Yep.
They do like he plays like 3 days out of the week. Yeah. And so when I'm in town and in college, it's like 2 hours from campus. Okay. So me and my roommates would like go down there all the time.
Yeah.
And so, it was just me down there, and we played with two of his buddies, and there's 18 holes at Berkeley Hall. Yep. We were playing the North Course, and the 8th hole it's about 145 yards. It's the highest point in Bluffton, South Carolina. The tee box is.
Okay, so it's elevated.
It's elevated.
Okay.
And a little fun fact, highest point in Bluffton. And so it's really cool because the green is kind of like split like this.
Okay.
So there's a ridge right in the middle.
Right in the middle, yeah.
And on the pin was on the right side, and there was a front bunker and then a back right bunker. Okay. And this pin was like 3 paces off the back fringe.
Oh, wow.
So there was not a lot of room behind it.
Yeah.
And then you had the bunker.
Yeah.
And if you're left at all, it's like a 25-foot drop.
Oh.
So you're like, you can't see the green. You're chipping up there. And so I hit a pitching wedge, and it was just straight at it, and it was tracking. And my grandpa and his friends, they're, mid-70s. So they're like in the couple tee boxes up.
Boxes up, yeah.
And they don't see anything. And it landed just past the pin. Yeah. So like a pace or two past.
Like almost off the green.
Almost on the fringe, yeah. And just ripped and hit the hole and went in.
That's so awesome.
Like I'm like a 23, 24-year-old kid. Yeah. And I'm like trying to like act cool with Papa's friends or whatever. And I just like lose my mind. I was like, it went in, and I like go crazy. And
that's awesome.
I got a picture with my grandpa.
Yeah,
and
I remember seeing it. Like
I
was just like, that's so cool. Like that's like it's like what you dream of, hitting a hole in one. Like a place like that with your grandpa, stuff like that. Like
I think I was 1 over par going into the 8th.
Yeah.
I made the eagle.
Yeah.
Hole in one, and then the next hole, I was just
you're so amped
out of it. And I mean, this fairway on 9 on the North Course is super skinny, and the whole left side is water.
Oh geez.
and right is woods.
Oh yeah.
So it's like you
gotta hit it straight. Yeah.
And if you hit less than driver, you have a long. It's a hard hole, and I just yanked it right in the water.
Yeah.
I was like,
at that point, you're like, I mean, like I want to have a good round, but you're like, whatever. Like, who cares? I hit a hole in one.
I think I doubled it to finish one over for the 9. I was like, I could care less.
Yeah.
But yeah, definitely a memory I will have forever.
Yeah, that's awesome, dude.
Yeah.
I mean, I've been so close to hole in one so many times, and I just can't get them to drop.
Yeah.
Every time.
Yeah. So I have that flag. My grandpa signed it, and his 2 buddies signed it, and it's hanging in my office. That's awesome. And so I will have that for
forever.
A long time. Yeah.
That's so cool.
Yeah. It was
that's
awesome.
a great experience.
And it was like 2 days before my birthday.
Oh, nice.
Yeah.
That's perfect.
A hole in one with my grandpa, he's who got me into golf. He's like everything.
Yeah.
So it was like the best birthday present ever.
That's awesome.
Yeah. It was so good.
Nice. I love it.
You'll get one soon.
I know. I'll get one eventually. I've been so close so many times, and the one that got away from me that I think I got really screwed on, because I'm the same thing. Like, obviously, that we talked about earlier, I spin the ball, so I always got to play deep.
Yeah.
We were playing out in McCook.
Okay.
At Heritage Hills, me and my dad.
Fun course.
Yeah, great course. First time we ever played it. And I don't remember what hole it was. It was on the front 9. It was like the first par 3. It's like hole 4 or something like that.
Yeah.
It was 120 yards or something. Okay. Hit a 54 degree right at it.
Yeah.
Landed behind the hole, like 10 feet behind the hole.
Okay.
Rips straight backwards. Hits the stick.
Just a little too hard.
No, here's the problem.
Uh-oh.
It was freaking COVID when they had the pool noodles in the cups.
Oh, no.
I literally think my ball hit the stick, hit the pool noodle, and then kept going.
Michael.
Because I had a putt later in the day where I hit a putt, and it went and dropped into the hole, but it bounced off the noodle and kept going. I think that's what happened.
Gosh.
Because I when I saw where my ball landed and spun back that far, I was like, how did that not drop? And I was like,
wait.
I was like, it had to be the pool noodle.
Wasn't COVID rules if it hit the flag stick?
If it hit the stick, it's a hole in one, right?
That's a hole in one.
I guess. I don't know.
COVID rules, bro.
I guess I have a COVID hole in one, but it's like I want to see that ball on the bottom of the cup.
I know.
But
I'm with you.
Yeah, I remember that. That was the one, like one of the worst ones. I mean, I've had so many other ones where I've spun back and wrung the cup or hit the stick and bounced off and stuff, but that one was the one. When I hit it, I was watching it and I was like, that's going to go in. Yeah. Like it was one of those where I was just like, and then, I forgot about the pool noodle and got screwed.
Oh, dude, that is so tragic.
Yeah, I know.
Yeah, we'll claim it as a COVID hole in one.
COVID hole in one.
And then you'll have a real one someday.
Yeah, I'll get one at some point. It's whatever. I don't
Just
really
keep
care.
going to the par 3 courses.
I know. Well, that's the fun thing now is like Bennett, who's 5, that kid is a golf nut.
Really?
I'm not joking. Like
that's every dad's
he practices
dream.
golf in the backyard every day. And I told he can't use real golf balls anymore because now he'll break something. Like,
dude,
I take him to the par 3 course. I got videos. He's just striping them down the middle.
He's going to be good.
He has the potential to be really good at golf. I'm like, I don't even care if you play another sport. Like, you just need to stick with golf.
Because I was the same as you. I played baseball.
I played everything when I was a kid.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And my freshman year of high school, I remember I was at batting practice and working on my golf swing with my baseball bat. Yeah. And I was like, I need to just switch to golf.
Exactly.
So I got into it sophomore year of high school. But I'm always like, dude, if I would have gotten into this elementary school.
Yeah. And I've been golfing since I was like 5 or 6.
Yeah.
But like I always played baseball. So my baseball swing always screwed my golf swing. And I never took golf more seriously than baseball.
Yeah.
But it's like if you took golf seriously from a young age and actually had a pretty good swing, like I'll be taking that kid to club champion. I'll be getting him fully fitted out. I don't care what it costs.
Yeah, dude. It'll pay for itself.
Yeah, exactly. Because then we can follow him on the tour.
Have you ever seen the picture of LeBron James with like the little Tykes basketball hoop? And the caption is best ROI in the history of the world.
Yeah, that's so funny. It's true though.
Like a $20 little Tykes basketball hoop to $1 billion athlete. Yeah,
$1 billion. Yeah, seriously, that's so funny.
Yeah.
Yeah, but that's the fun thing now is I do get to go to par 3 courses a lot just because I take them there. It's cheap and easy, and he just wants to go all the time. So all he wants to do is go to the golf course, practice. He wants to go practice. He wants to go hit golf balls. He wants to go play rounds of golf. That's all he wants to do.
That's so fun. You're like,
I'm like, sorry, babe, we're gonna go to the golf course. Like,
father-son time.
Yeah. Dude, I mean, what are you gonna say? Like,
did he just get into it on his own?
Mm-hmm.
Wow.
Like since he's been like 2 or 3.
That's awesome.
Since he was like 3 years old, he will sit and watch golf with me.
Dude.
Like a 3-year-old that will just sit and watch golf. And the funny thing is he's one of those kids that's very good at just mimicking what he sees.
Yeah.
So I think the fact that he watches golf
Yeah.
He sees them swing and he just like figures out how to swing like them.
Yeah.
Because
like,
just over like the last like couple months, because sometimes he'll be kind of swinging a little wild.
Yeah.
All of a sudden, like a month and a half ago, I watch him outside hitting and he's just like has this like perfect like on plane swing, just hitting balls. I'm just like, dude, what are you doing? Like, where'd this come from?
A kid that has a swing that's on plane is destined for greatness.
I know. That's what I'm saying. I'm like, I wish I would have swung like that when I was a kid. But
seriously.
Yeah.
Seriously,
it's
dude.
fun. It's like the best thing. Like I can't. That's why like all of a sudden I'm like, I'm always into golf, but like now I'm like I'm really trying to get hardcore back into golf and like because it's like I can go golf with him like and he gets to play and we're just gonna practicing and getting better, bro. So, yeah. That's the dream.
Okay, last thing I'll say. When I was in college, I helped coach a high school golf team. And Wesley's dad, George, was like he coached with me.
Yeah.
And his whole thing, I mean, he's got 2 kids that like are tour quality golfers.
Right.
And his whole thing was he didn't let any of the golfers go to the driving range.
Really?
Before he was like, prove to me that you can chip and putt better than anyone else, and then I'll let you go. And so he used the driving range almost as like an incentive.
Yeah.
Like he was like, obviously, if you want to be a good golfer, you have to like, work on your swing at the driving range. And like Tiger is he banged balls for hours, right? But he was like, even if you like perfect your touch and feel around the chipping green, that will help your swing on a full swing.
Especially, for sure.
And so
especially with the hands, I mean, like if you can get the hands right on chipping, like you're gonna when it gets to the swing.
Yep.
Yeah.
Yeah. So that was his whole thing, and even to the point where I was like, all right, this is getting a little excessive. He's like, nope, we're only gonna be at the chipping green. I'm like, dang, bro, like I'm bored for these guys. Like, let's go bang some drivers.
Yeah, seriously, let's go.
Anyone that wants to go with Coach Joseph, come with me. Everyone goes.
You want to go rip drivers on the range?
Yeah.
That's funny. It's smart though. Like you said, it's like you talked about earlier. It's the short game. Like you got to be really, really good.
Yep. Yep. Crazy.
All right. Well, let's close it out. This was fun, dude.
So fun. Thanks for having me.
Oh yeah, we're gonna have you on again.
Good.
Well, I'm trying to kind of do a little bit of golf series with it, break it up, and
I like it.
We'll go play some rounds of golf too. Yeah. We didn't even like talk about like courses and stuff today, really. Like, well, we got a lot we can still talk about. Yeah. So
when we play, maybe you'll make a hole in one, then we can unpack.
That would be cool. Maybe that's what I need.
I'll still beat you.
Yeah, you'll still win. I'm fine with that. That doesn't even bother me. If I can hit a hole in one, I gotta get it up. I have one buddy who sucks at golf.
Yeah.
Sorry, Joey, but he will never beat me in a round of golf in his life, and he has 2
hole in ones. Yeah, dude, it's just luck.
Yeah.
It's just luck.
Yeah. I was with him for one of them. He didn't hit a single good shot all day, and then we roll up to this 190-yard par 3.
Wow.
Pulls out his hybrid out of his bag. Hits the most perfect shot he's ever hit in his life. It bounces, rolls right in the cup.
Here's the deal. Would you rather get a hole in one where you like kind of skull it?
No. I want to hit a beautiful hole in one.
Yes.
I'm sorry. Like if I hit the hole in one and get lucky, like great. Like but I want to hit the shot that I want to hit and then watch it go in the hole.
That's why I was so pleased with mine.
Because you hit the shot you were trying to hit.
I hit the exact shot. It's kind of cool that I ripped it back in. I was with my grandpa at my favorite course in the world. Yeah. Like, so I was like,
picturesque.
This is, this is. I tried to get that flag framed in my living room, but my wife just said no.
Come on, Peyton.
I know.
Come on,
Peyton. Peyton. We got a match.
It'll get there someday. When you have a man cave, eventually, because you're in an apartment now, right?
Yes.
Yeah. Once you get in a house, you got to have your own room. Like, you have to have. This is my room.
Yes.
Like this is like I can do whatever I want here.
You can do whatever you want. You can put. Yeah. I like that.
Yeah. So
cool.
All right.
Sweet.
Thanks everybody for watching. Episode 14.
Dang.
Yeah, I think 14 or 15. I don't remember. I think it's 14.
Nice.
All right.
Sweet.
Catch you next time.